Haiti remaining unstable this morning. Just yesterday, gangs unleashing attacks in two of the country's more upscale communities, leaving what we know at least a dozen dead.
The escalation raising concerns that the violence is not over, despite a promise from Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry to resign once a transitional presidential council was created. Henry stepping down as a demand of the gang members. All this as dozens of U.S. citizens fled the chaos on Sunday on a government-chartered flight. Mark Geist is a member of the Benghazi Annex Security Team, also the founder of the Shadow Warriors Project, co-author of both the book and the movie 13 Hours. Mark, welcome. And as you know, when it comes to unpredictable and dangerous situations, you've experienced them, credited with saving more than 24 people in the attack on Benghazi. Can you talk to us about the security situation in Haiti based on what you've observed so far?
I've got some contacts on the ground in Haiti right now that have, there's people's houses getting overran. There's at least, from what my contacts have said, 8 or 9 families that have been murdered, members of their families being murdered. It's chaos, especially in Port-au-Prince, but it's expanding a little bit more and more outside of Port-au-Prince with different gangs trying to control territory. And really, I think what we see is it's normal for situations like this is these gangs are going to try to do and gather up as much control as they can before there's a significant change in the government. And unfortunately, it may lead to civil war.
We're watching just video that's being fed to us that we've seen, and chaos, to describe it that way, is correct. When we've seen death, destruction, again, the shift in government powers, airports being overrun, again, killings that we've seen so far, etc. And that's why I wanted to get you see, this is from the airport, by the way, so there's obviously issues getting out. There's reports that there are hundreds of Americans trapped in Haiti. So I wanted to hone in on that. Former President Donald Trump, the presumptive nominee at this time for the Republican Party, posted on Truth Social about this very topic regarding the current president, President Biden, the message he believes he's sending to those causing chaos and unrest in Haiti. Which brings me to my question for you is there's a lot of reporting, or there is reporting right now that the U.S. is going to send money. But is that what they need? And is there trust in where that money would go or how that money would be handled? Can you throw money at this issue in Haiti? It seems as if there might not be a lot of accountability in terms of how that money would be used or whose hands that would go into. What do they really need there?
What we need to do, at least as the nonprofits that I've been talking with who are trying to assist getting Americans out of there, is we need to, first and foremost, we need to secure our American citizens, provide security and safety for them, and get them out, get anybody who wants to get out. Next thing we're looking at is a potential famine is in the works right now because you've got 4 million people. It's been a week or two now that there have been limited supplies of food, and these gangs and stuff are trying to control all of that, which is just going to lead to a significant famine, which, as we've seen, pushes people to our borders. And don't think that it's only going to be to our Florida border, because there's groups out there that are some NGOs that are going to try to get people into Mexico to try to cross our southern border, which is even easier than coming across into Florida. It's horrendous what we're looking and what we're facing right now.
The Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, he's putting additional National Guard's troops standing by to keep an eye out for potentially Haitian migrants attempting to enter the country via the southernmost part of Florida. But before they'd even make it that far, the neighboring Dominican Republic has already taken action, building a 12-foot border wall in an attempt to separate themselves from Haiti, keeping out the gangs and the crime, reportedly including drones and cameras, watchtowers, and night vision. So, Mark, what does this tell us about truly the precautions that are being taken to keep these Haitian migrants and these Haitian gang members out of neighboring countries? And what can the U.S. learn from that?
I think they need to learn to act. We need to utilize all the resources that we have. I mean, we have the best military, the most technological military. provide that to help protect our citizens. If it means getting them out, then get them out immediately. Otherwise, leave it up and get out of the way of the nonprofits that are working in that space. We're working with people on the ground to try to help with that. We are working with a group called Riker Defense that is a phenomenal group of veterans who is also well versed in how to extract people from situations like this, along with Jack Brewer and his group. And Corey Mills is doing wonderful work down there as well. I want to give a shout out to all of them because it's them who are stepping up, just as we did in Afghanistan, as we did in Israel, as we did in Sudan, leaving it up to the U.S. or the nonprofits, the American citizens to help each other.
I wanted to link this, if I can, and just to be very candid with you, recently I rewatched 13 Hours, again, to just get the movie's phenomenal. It really does an excellent job depicting of what we've seen, and from Paramount Pictures here, just a couple of stills from the movie here. And again, the character portraying you here is who we see here. I believe Oz, if I'm not mistaken. But bringing this up because it seems like when we describe what's happening in Haiti, you have Americans trapped there, not able to defend themselves in this moment, can't get through the airports. Choppers have to be brought in to get them out at this point. It seems like some of the same, in broad strokes, some of the same situation happening there versus in Benghazi and Haiti. I know there's a lot of different variables, but just in terms of the word helpless, there are Americans that are helpless in this moment. Can you link some of the things that you went through in Benghazi and what you're seeing here, this rescue mission that is needed?
Yeah, luckily for us, or for myself, I was with 5 other team members that were highly trained to defend ourselves, to make sure that we could save the American lives that we were contracted to protect. Unfortunately for us, then the only thing we couldn't defend against is indirect fire, which is like mortars and things like that. And that's what injured me and killed Ty and Glenn, who are standing next to me. And, with what we're seeing with these armed groups, we haven't seen indirect fire, those type of weapons being utilized yet. They probably have access to them because the Haitian military had access to them. Eventually they will, and if they need to use that, they will, especially in areas where they are held up or in a sense kind of like castled up. That's kind of what we're facing there. And the more time goes by, the more perilous it's going to be for American citizens and the citizens of Haiti, especially the children. They're the most vulnerable.
Yeah, many Americans, again, trying to adopt in Haiti to save those. We appreciate the time and the service of Mark Geist here on National Report. Mark, thanks so much.
Thank you very much.